and then you have to go for quarantine, and it's on a standard that been set by the government.
Mm-mm.
But then what about if one of the minister refused to be in quarantine?
Yeah,
So it's kind of like double standard.
yeah. That is the one that Fuller is talking about. Because if you talk about implementation of the law, how the law is being implemented is the one that people will see whether the law is good or not. If you see differences in terms of people, the standard law is anyone who comes back from overseas must be quarantined in order to verify whether they are infected by the disease or not, right? So it is a well-known thing to everyone. But how can a person coming back and saying that I don't think I need to be quarantined just because I am the authority? I'm the person who, I'm a politician. I need to do my job. No, your job is secondary. You're talking about the, the health of the society. Meaning, say for example, the Sabah election, right? You're talking about the need for the election to be taken place. Otherwise, that is the provision provided under the federal constitution. But the moment, the way, the method that you do it, right? You can do the election, never mind. But the social distancing is something that is needed for us to apply. Otherwise, what's the point of having a law? And then now Sarawak is about to have their, election, right? It's mandatory stage that for them to have that, what they call it, election. The argument that was put forward by the politician, uh, for certain parts of Sarawak, people of Sarawak doesn't know that Najib is no longer the prime minister. They say that it is important for them to see people, they are allowed to go down to the ground, go and meet people, say things, what is happening and things like that. So we cannot restrict them from doing their job. However, the process that needs to be done in order for them to be careful, not spreading the disease to all of us, is one thing that they cannot deny. Boleh?
Boleh, sir.
Yeah, in that sense, I think at least they the double standard is there, and people are not going to be happy with the action that was taken by those politicians, right? Obviously, we are intelligent people. We know how to. Anyone, common sense. It's just common sense, right? Tit for tat, nah. Later on, you will see how people respond in terms of their power to reappoint the current government.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, Shida.
Uh,
Shahida.
you can call me
Sorry.
Shida. Okay.
Okay.
Since Devlin's reasonable man test is not asked in sociological terms, either such immorality is threatening to society, or rather what he feels disgust at. So my question
Yes.
is, will this affect our understanding of legal obligation?
Meaning, what sense?
Because we we have different consigns, like you give example, people
Mm-hmm.
kissing in the bus and everything,
Mm-hmm.
right? So,
Mm-hmm.
um, is it really important to consider this theory? Because basically we are all we have different opinion, right?
True.
Uh,
Very true.
so it will definitely lead to infinite disagreement.
Yes, that is one thing that is the lacking in terms of the impact that is going to cause to the society. If you allow certain interpretation that is being made, or certain the society to self-interpret whether that act of any act, yeah, whether they are of a standard of morality or not. So that is one thing that is going to, you know, it it defeats the argument, right? So the ability of leaving the morality standard to the society. Well, what do you think, Shida? No.
Uh, my opinion is if we're talking about like small matters like kissing or like
Mm-mm.
hugging in public, I wouldn't really have issue on that. But when it comes to big things like macam homosexuality,
Mm-mm.
maybe that is something I don't know if we should consider maybe I would be considered as macam apa um tak nak macam apply equality ke apa sebab everyone deserve equality, right, rights to
Yeah.
be treated semua. Tapi I don't know, my belief is that I wouldn't go to that extent lah.
Mm.
So I
But
don't know if we should consider every single thing, including this approach.
the rest of the group, what do you think? What is your opinion? Alice, Yasmin, Ainan?
So can you apa soalan dia? what
Okay, no, sekali lagi.
Would the theory of Lord Devlin
Mm-hmm.
affect our understanding about legal obligation, or basically affect our legal obligation?
Okay, Najah, faham? Lord Devlin, it mentioned about what is the idea of Lord Devlin. Can someone summarize your understanding? I just want to see whether you understand or not.
Me?
No, anyone else? Just to get the conversation going. Ainan, Yasmin, Juliana, anyone? There's 55 of us. So what do you understand about Lord Devlin? The idea. Guys? No one?
Sir,
Yeah, Maria.
yang saya faham apa
Good.
Lord Devlin cakap,
Mm-hmm.
the law has to take into account the society's shared political or morality, macam how they view a certain act tu. Is it considered as tolerable for the whole society or
Mm-hmm.
not? Kalau the law tak take into consideration apa the society as a whole can tolerate, the
Mm-hmm.
society itself can be destroyed. Macam tu lah. Yang saya faham macam
Can
tu.
retaliate, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Anyone else? Thank you, Maria. Anyone else? Yes, I'm waiting.
I don't know whether it is a correct understanding, but
Mm-hmm.
Lord Devlin he said that everything we must look at the public morality, whether macam kalau benda tu not acceptable, then I don't know whether it is the right understanding. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Just try it.
It said that anything kita kena tengok like whether it is acceptable ke tak by the public, macam yang Syahidah mention tadi, whether kissing in public, whether public rasa benda tu okay ke tak kalau kita buat benda tu. I mean in our context in Malaysia or overseas, for them it is okay. But if in Malaysia kita ada je macam yang salam like Mr. pun ada mention dalam video like salam tu, tapi like kissing in public something yang kita tak adalah rasa benda tu normal for us. I don't know, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Don't say sorry, because we are here to understand, right? And therefore, any one of us can make mistake. It's okay. No cakap tadi when it comes to public morality, right? So whether we want to take public morality in terms of kissing in public, maybe you see it as petty, then okay lah, you can say acceptable, but it depends on individual to do whatever they want. But when it comes to big issues, like no said about LGBT, what is the position of the law? Do we need to allow individuals to do whatever they want, or the minority to do whatever they want, or we have to look at the general consensus ataupun general perception of the society? I think we should be compassionate. Ada somebody made a statement. I think it should be compassionate to other people with different sexual preferences, but of course it won't be accepted or morally justified by public. Yeah, so there must be a consensus in the society over an issue that is big in nature, like for example the LGBT issue, right? So therefore, we have to allow some avenue for the society itself to decide what is right, what is wrong. And therefore, the law must reflect what the society wants it to be. Let's say, for example, euthanasia. Uh, you know, if a person is in the position of pain, every day is pain, and you don't allow that person to die, uh, either he has to either positive or negative euthanasia, uh, that is a big no for us, right? So how do you treat these cases? If that person wants to die, he or she must go overseas in order to have a place that allow euthanasia to take place. We have in our society a position that from the Islamic religion, right? So killing yourself is considered as you know is something that is not wanted by the religion itself. So how do you tackle this? So what the Devlin is saying, that we need to have some kind of gender consensus with regards to the issue at hand. So bottom line, if you do allow, like no, what No is saying, that if you were to allow people to decide which one is good for them, it does not make sense, because you will be subjected to other people critical analysis of the things that you're doing. So for example, pro-life, pro-choice in America itself, so they allow for pro-choice. Yeah, so the mother can be allowed to choose whether she wants the baby to be aborted or not. But pro-life is saying otherwise, that you as a mother, you are not supposed to kill the baby, and many incidents where they kill the lady or the mother who came out from the clinics, yeah, abortion clinics. So what needs to be done? People are taking laws into their own hands, and you have to do something, right? So the law must reflect what the society wants. So in this case, the pro-choice wins. Yasmin, you were about to say something.
I think that everyone has a choice to do whatever they want, and other people shouldn't. If it doesn't concern you, they should not. Should not. What do you call this? Tak payah nak kacau lah. I mean,
Yeah, I
it's
think
human
in that
rights as
sense,
long as it doesn't. Uh, you can stretch out your hands as far as it can be, as long as it doesn't touch anyone's nose. Then it's your right.
true. True, I do agree. As I mentioned, I'm quite liberal in looking at that. But as far as Jewish is concerned, there must be some consensus, right? Some quorum. Otherwise, we have a issues in our society that is not going to be resolved. So that is what Devlin is trying to say. Doesn't mean that he is right, guys. Whenever we are talking about any of the juries, remember that they are also wrong at the same time when they are right. So what we can do is to take them and discuss them, and give your opinion about what do they the reality of the application of their idea. So in this case, no, I think, yeah, he do believe in some kind of general morality, right? based on the majority of the society. However, it will have some negative impact where people who wants to abort, they will definitely abort. They will go to practices, people who practice abortion that is not what they call it, safe. They are not licensed. They use tools that is going to be injurious to the body of the mother, you know. So we do have that kind of instances in our society where the mother, orang akan kata pada muka dia, siapa suruh dia pergi cari orang yang not a reputable doctor. Any reputable doctor wouldn't expose their license if they were to do abortion because it's illegal. So this is the dilemma that our society is facing. So people would, yeah, sorry,
So
Yasmin.
yeah, so don't you think like all these problems stems from because we live in a community? That's why, because everybody nak sibuk pasal how the other person punya thing. If we were all to keep our private lives private, I don't think this would be a problem, kan?
True. I do believe in that. So that seems to be a big problem when you apply what the majority wants towards you because you are just the minority, then it's going to cause a problem because people will do things, you know. Say for example, you want to curb people, what do you call it, cohabitation, right? Staying together. They want to stay together, to be together without marriage, especially when it comes to Chinese and Indian, right? So the religion is not that what they call it, strict as compared to those in Islam, right? So they happily doing what they want, and the problem is that they are facing the problem because some of the male left the female upon them buying houses together, which the female do not the gender, the female do not ensure she is protected under the law. If say for example you're buying a house, right, out of wedlock, meaning it must be something that you must put as a private, yeah, private contract in terms of two-person entering into a contract to join ownership of a house. But certain ladies, they are not aware of their rights, and this is something that is happening in our society. So people will always come up with excuse, especially those ustad and say that, look, you are not to do this because this is the outcome, and all they can do is just advise. If the person wants to do it, they will always do it, right? And this is where I disagree with Lord Devlin, where me personally lah, I don't see it as a good way of doing things. So the law should reflect the freedom of the society in order for them to do what they want, as long as it is not injurious to somebody else. You know, that is just my opinion now. But you guys, all 52 of you, have the right to have your own opinion. So you choose whichever jurist that is your towards your liking, and suit your argument with them or their argument with your liking. So in exam, say for example, sorry, no, in exam, if you were to have this situation, be free in order for you to state in terms of the idea that you have in your mind. Okay. However, don't have that as the majority of your answer. You must be talking about the problem that is given to you from the question. The question is going to give you a problem, and you will work on that. And you can actually put your opinion, but commenting on those juries that you like or you don't like. Yeah, no, sorry. Alice?
Oh, nothing. I'm just gonna say, thank you, sir. I understand.
Alice?
Okay, so I would like to ask. So, what if the question is asking about the law and morality? Because as we know that abortion is illegal in Malaysia.
Yeah.
What if I say that um, to tackle this sort of like illegal or black market abortions and illegal clinic, why don't Malaysia decriminalize abortion instead? Because when we decriminalize, then
Uh-huh.
there is like we can tackle the issues of black market and then the unprofessional surgeon doing the
Mm-hmm.
abortions.
You will see babies being thrown in the toilet, in the
Yeah,
dustbin. This is rampant, right? We have 500,000, bastards. Sorry to say that. Out of wedlock children that is coming from out of wedlock. It is not their problem. The problem is from their parents, right? If you were to have them, do it in a proper manner, these kind of things might be avoided. If you want to have abortion, do it properly, and then we can regulate things just like what the Westerners are doing. They regulate everything. You can do it, but it is up to a certain extent. Otherwise, we will be able to come and kacau you for you not doing it properly. So this actually my statement is actually opening opening cans of worm in discussion. So people can say otherwise. So whenever a person comes with his or her idea, obviously somebody else would not agree or disagree. Agree or disagree, pula. Would agree or disagree, right? But they have their own basis. So if you disagree with my statement, obviously you will be pro Devlin lah.
Or you can also give birth to the child and then you send it to the baby hatch, and then a day after you go and pick up the child and then adopt as if it's you
Yeah,
adopt a child.
yeah,
So
true.
you can still have the child.
Mm-mm. You still can have the child and then taken by the system. There must be a system to be able to cater that kind of act. If say for example people wants to have sex and then they are not careful, obviously babies come out from the relationship, right? And then if they want to abort, they do not agree to abortion, right? It is against their what do you call it, their conscience. So if you allow them to have a proper pregnancy, and then if she delivers, then the system must be able to cater that. Okay, what will happen to the baby if she doesn't have the ability to to support the baby? So the system itself, the law, meaning when I say the system, meaning we have to have proper laws enacted in order for us to have that system. And when the system functioning very well, then therefore the caretaking of the child until the age of majority is something that is based on the duty of the government to take care of. So nowadays, out of wedlock doesn't have IC, say for example. They cannot get IC, they cannot get hospitalization, they cannot get schooling, proper schooling, just because they don't have IC. Why they don't have IC? Because the parents is not married properly. So what is happening to those children? It is not their fault. You are creating a problem to the society in order for them. They themselves have to mend for, they have to live. How the system is not helping them. Okay, you want to punish, you punish the parents, but you don't punish the child. So the system must take care. The government must, the any illegal child, you know illegal, do you say it is as illegitimate child? Any illegitimate child must be under the purview of the state. Meaning, if the child was born in Kedah, and then the government of Kedah should take care of the child from otherwise it becomes the parents' responsibility, right? I don't know. Maybe because of that, people don't want to get married, and then they just want to have child.
But then until you create problems with people not getting
Yeah,
married and then giving birth, and then and when
the
they
state
reach
is going to.
18, yeah, the
Uh,
state would our taxpayers' money would be going
Definitely.
into there, and then it
So
will create more problems.
yeah,
So
as what I
we
said,
have parents of lepas tangan macam tu je.
yeah. So as what I said, I'm actually opening cans of worm in terms of the possibility that might arise just because you want to allow freedom for individuals to do whatever they want based on morality. So morality is based on individual if you go along that line, but it does bring about so many other issues. So that is what Devlin is trying to say. Because why Devlin is trying to say that? Because he is the one that is as a judge in order for them to handle cases, right? So if you open the floodgate, obviously so many problems will come to the court, and they are the one that is being responsible to handle this, to settle or resolve these issues that goes to their court. If everyone in the society is able to handle it, then it's okay. But only certain group of people are going to handle it. The municipals, the what they call it, the court system, the the certain departments in the government only to have who have purview over the issues. Boleh, guys? Any input?
Yes,
Yasmin?
sir.
Yes?
Dah, tak ada.
Tak
Boleh.
ada. At least okay, clear? No? Macam mana no?
Yes, clear.
Boleh?
Clear, sir.
Okay. Ainan? Anything, Ainan? Clear? All right. So go along that line. Try to think of the argument put forward, and then try to think what will happen if this, if A and then what B and then the C, what will happen if allow A? What, is it going to be B or is it going to be C? So many things that can come out from that thinking. So if you have any problem, you just contact me and I'll try to sort it out for you.
Okay, sir.
Boleh ya? Right. Do your readings lagi and try to think more and argue. And if you are, having any issues, just contact me. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Thanks,
Okay.
sir.
All
Okay,
right.
sir.
Thank you very much, guys, for
Okay, thank
coming.
you, sir.
Thank you.
You want the recording to be up in the you future? I'll be putting it there.
Okay,
Yeah.
sir.
Uh, Azwani kucing comelnya, ya Allah. All right. So thank you, guys. Take care. See you in the tutorials, inshallah. Assalamualaikum.
Salam. Thank you, sir.
Thank
Nama
you,
kucing
sir.
apa Azwani tu?
Luna.
Ha?
Luna, sir.
Nona. Ya Allah, geramnya. Okay. Alright. Thank you. Assalamualaikum, guys.
Salam.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Hasif ada ada nak tanya soalan? Hanis, Pak Hira.